We do want to talk about the fight against crime with somebody who knows something about that, former NYPD Commissioner and Newsmax contributor Benier Kerik. Bernie, the president, obviously he's going to come out. We kind of have seen this before, this formula. He's going to come out, he's going to talk gun control, he's going to blame those on the right, he's going to ignore a lot of other things. How do you interpret this?
Well, the problem with him blaming the people on the right, it's not the cities controlled by people on the right that has all the violent crime, the murder, the increased shootings. Every one of these cities around the country, Pennsylvania included, you have major crime spikes, violent crime, murder, and shootings in those cities run by Democrats, to the point that it's some of the highest increases in the last 25 to 40 years. They're all run by Democrats. The fact that he's going to Scranton is nothing but a political ploy. He should start out in Philadelphia, where they've had major spikes in crime, where they have a radical left-wing prosecutor that's not locking people up, that's targeting cops more than he's targeting the bad guys, where the murder rate has increased substantially. The bottom line is, this is all about politics. This isn't a presidential movement. This is a campaign movement trying to take the heat off the Democrats for these increases in violent crime and murder.
Yeah, Bernie, speaking of I guess, violent crime and murder, but also problems happening right here in New York City, because obviously you're a New Yorker, you know something about New York City crime and the homelessness problem. Just out today, we're hearing that a lot of banks are actually going to be closing the ATM access for actual bank customers starting at 10 or 11 p.m. to dissuade homeless people from getting in and sleeping there and taking up residence. Is this something that you ever imagined would be happening in New York City at this time, at this day and age, after we saw how former Mayor Giuliani had cleaned up the city?
No, it didn't happen under Giuliani, and it didn't happen under Bloomberg. Mm-hmm. It just did not happen. There was a way that we dealt with the homeless. You took the homeless off the streets, you put them in shelters, you put them in clinics, you put them in the hospital, or if they were in violation of the law, you put them in jail. That's the bottom line. They shouldn't be out in the street. It's a danger to them. It's a danger to the public. Everybody knows it. And this mayor and the last mayor, de Blasio, has done absolutely nothing about it, but embolden it, like doing things like this, where these banks, they have to shut down their ATM access at a certain time of night to keep the homeless out. That's insane. The mayor should be doing something about it, and he's not.
Yeah, and you know, this is not just a problem in New York. Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., the big cities in this country are experiencing this homeless problem. Now, we all have feelings, if any conscience at all, that people who can't make it, you don't wish homelessness on anybody. However, that is part of what we do. We try to support, either in a private way or through public money, shelters and ways to help these people. What do you think could be done that they're not doing in these big cities? Because they act as if it's a violation of their civil rights to get these people off the streets.
You know what? If you go back to Giuliani's times, and I can tell you personally, Mayor Giuliani would call me as insane, especially to some police commissioners and chiefs, that they may think this is. He would call me personally at night, at midnight, at 1 o'clock in the morning, and say, I just passed 72nd Street and Broadway, and I saw 2 homeless people in a cardboard box. Get them up, get them to a shelter now. Not tomorrow morning, not later. Don't figure out a program. We had programs in place to deal with this stuff. This administration in New York City, they don't have a program. They have nothing. They're running around letting these people go anywhere they want, do anything they want. They're attacking people in the streets. This is by far one of the worst times in New York City in the last 30, 35 years. And it could stop if they had the right leadership in City Hall.